So you've bought yourself a Gen 6 2021 or newer Honda Goldwing. Let's talk about what you should do next. Hey channel, welcome back. Yeah, you've bought yourself a brand new Goldwing. Did you get a 2025? Have you seen those colors? Can't wait for the 2026s to come out. Well, I thought what I'd do for you, if you're new to Goldwing or you've just bought one or you're about to buy one, I thought I'd go through the top 10 things I think, now these are my opinion, top 10 things you ought to consider buying, accessories. And 3 of them that are great, but you might want to skip, and I'll tell you why. So let's get to it. Yeah, it's pretty cold up here in North Texas this time of year. It is December 13th, and it has been in the very low 40s. And while, yeah, I could ride and vlog, it's not a lot of fun. So I thought I'd just talk to you straight from the garage. Important topic today. I think you'll enjoy it. So let's get started. These are in no particular order. They're just what I came across and I jotted them down. So let's get to it. First thing I think you ought to get, if you're getting or have a brand new Goldwing and you haven't already, go out there and get Cruiseman's video series. It will more than pay for itself. You will make up your money in labor cost alone. And Cruiseman goes through every step of how to do just about everything on these bikes, whether it's take off the plastic, replace the air filter, change the brakes, remove the back tire, add the bullet brake, all these things. You're going to find it very helpful, very worth your money, great value. That's the first thing I think you should go out and get. All right, on to number 2, and that would be the Traction Dynamics engine guard. This engine guard is designed to protect a weak spot in all of these Goldwings engine underbelly. There's a place in there that if something flies up from the road, debris or whatever hits it, comes off your tire or whatever and hits the underside of that engine, there is a place that could break off and now you've got oil coming out all over the ground, potentially taking you down and certainly harming your engine. It happened. It's happened before. Go out and get this engine guard from Traction Dynamics. It also protects the drain bolts and the oil filter. It's constructed from 6061 T6 aluminum. That's some pretty strong stuff, let me tell you. It's going to take a hit, and it has in my case, and weathered very well. It's easy to install, not difficult. And it's hard-coated anodized for extreme duty and longevity. I've had mine now for 3 years. It's worked fine, has protected me a couple times. One time I came off a curb. I wasn't expecting to come off a curb. I bottomed out on that engine and just hit the engine guard and everything's fine. Scratched it up a little bit, but everything's fine. So yeah, if you don't want a very, very expensive engine overhaul or replacement, go out and get yourself the Traction Dynamics engine guard. Now, all of these things that I'm telling you today, I will have not only links to where you can find them in the description below, but I also will have links to the videos where I installed them. So if you need help installing them, you can reach out and find some of my videos in the description below for some of these things. All right, number 3 on the list is the Pathfinder LED cowl lights. I love these lights. They were one of the first things I bought for the bike. I had seen them on Cruiseman's and some other people's bikes, and I absolutely love them. They are so bright. They are daytime running lights, and they have integrated amber turn signals, and they're not hard to install. Yeah, you can see there how bright. Did you see how it illuminated the ground around my bike? And then the turn signals are also awful bright. They alert cars around you that you're turning. Really love these, and they are form fitted for this bike, specifically designed for this bike. So run out and grab you some of those. All right, number 4 on the list is going to be some Healy bar risers. What are Healy bar risers? Well, they are little spacers that you slide in underneath your handlebars. You unbolt your stock handlebars, you bolt these things in, put these things in, then bolt the handlebars back down. And what they do is they raise your handlebars by 9/16 of an inch, but they also bring your handlebars back to you slightly and in by 2 1/4 inches. That doesn't sound like a lot either way, but let me tell you, it makes this touring bike much more of a touring bike and a lot more comfortable for me. I love the riding position. So if you're not exactly happy with how far out your hands are in your riding position, look to get these Healy bars and get them installed, and then you'll be more comfortable on those long road trips. All right, number 5 on the list, and I'm very excited about this one, guys, is the ultimate seat. Now, you don't necessarily have to go with the ultimate seat. There are a lot of options out there. Russell Daylong is one of them, very good. There's Mustang seats. There's a couple others. Cruiseman got his seat stuffed by a guy down in, I think, College Station, Texas. Also a good option. I'll put the name of that one on the screen. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But there are a lot of good options. Just about everybody who gets a new Goldwing doesn't really care for the seat. That's one of the more frequent complaints you hear. And mine was a little firm. It was okay. I didn't have too much trouble with it just going around town, but I didn't want to take that seat all the way across state lines on a long run. So I weighed all the options of all these different brands and ultimately decided to go with the ultimate seat. And I love it. It is custom. In my particular case, it has a croc inlay that's called Shiraz croc. That's the color, Shiraz croc. And it's so perfectly matched the color of the bike. Really love it. It's comfortable, it's padded, it's 1 inch wider than the stock seat. And there's 2 versions of the ultimate seat. The one I got is called the mid rider for average or short guys. Anyway, 1 inch wider, but sits in the same seating position as the stock seat. If you're a taller guy, like Cruiseman, or like Slappy, or like Mac with Gold Rider 1, if you're a tall guy, you're going to want to go for the tall boy. They call it the tall boy. That is their version. That is their brand name for this. And again, it is 1 inch wider, just like the mid rider that I have, but it sits you back 1 1/4 inch further than both the stock seat and the mid rider. So it gives you tall guys a little more room to stretch out your legs and feel comfortable. So I think you'll really like that. You can also I got the backrest with it that matches the seat. And it also comes with you can get it heated. It's got factory connections for heating. So your factory heating works just fine on this seat, and it does great. I have used it, and it's just as warm as the stock seat was. So super happy with this. If you're interested in a new seat, you don't much care for the stock seat, have a look at either the Ultimate or Mustang or, gosh, I wish I remembered the other one. But look into getting a new seat. You won't regret it. All right, number 6 on my list is the Innov blind spot and dash cam system. It's the Innov RC6. That's the model number, RC6. And it combines a couple of wonderful things that I used to have separate on the bike. It combines a dash cam and the blind spot monitoring systems. Now, I've done a review on the blind spot monitoring systems. I'll put that in the description below so you can go find that video. And then I also had the Vantrue F1 dash cam. on my bike, separate from the blind spots. Well, that took up a lot of space, so I decided to consolidate and try this one combined unit from our good folks at Innov, and it's been a wonderful addition to the bike. The blind spot indicators reside somewhere either on your dash. You can put them wherever you want. I've put them on the mirror stalks right outside where the mirrors hang out, and so when somebody's coming up on either side of me, those will light up, and they're very visible, very bright. They also have an audible tone, if you wish, that you can turn on. I don't care for the audible tone. It's super loud, so I turn it off and just let the lights do their thing. And the dash cam is a great dash cam. Now, the Vantrue, I think, has a little bit better resolution, but this one does just fine, and you can get to the memory card super easy. It's embedded into the front camera, so you can get to it easily. You also can access your videos over the phone, like most good dash cam systems out today. All right, number 7 on the list is the F4 Customs windshield. Man, I love this thing. It looks just like the stock windshield, only it's got a little bit of a recurve at the top of the windshield, which shoots the wind up over you a little better than the stock windshield. It also comes with a proprietary coating that allows water to sheen off of it and bugs to wipe away easy. It's a wonderful, wonderful windshield, and it's not subject. This proprietary coating keeps it from scratching, so you can wipe it down with a towel or a paper towel. You're not going to hurt this windshield. Whereas the stock windshield, you could potentially get some micro scratches in it if you're using anything, stronger than a microfiber on them. They come in several different sizes. They come in a shorty size, 16. They come in a 20, which I have, and it comes in 2 widths. It has a standard width, which I have, same width as a stock windshield, or a wide, which I believe Cruiseman might have. The wide windshield adds a couple inches on the outside of the windshield and helps for that airflow going around you. And they also have a tall version, which I think is 24 inches. If you like a lot of height and like to look through you're either a tall person, like to look over the windshield, or you're like me and you would much rather look through the windshield when you're riding, then maybe the tall version, the 24-inch, is for you. But I love this windshield. It's easy to maintain, and it does a great job of handling air, much more so than the stock windshield, in my opinion. Number 8 is going to be the bullet brake. Now, this has come out recently, and it may have been around for a while, but I only learned about it recently, and it is one of the best purchases I have made for this bike. Everybody knows the parking brake on these bikes they're crap, and you're going to set it, guaranteed you're going to forget to release it, and you're going to ride off with the parking brake engaged. Constantly needing adjusting, these parking brakes do. It's not hard to adjust, but you got to do it frequently, and then you get to a point where it just doesn't hold anymore. If you saw Cruiseman and my video from when we went to Colorado last year, we got to a certain location and parked on an incline, and his parking brake just was not holding that bike. We had to go find something to prop up underneath the tires to hold that bike in place, or put it on the center stand, which is not always an easy task depending on where you are. But this bullet brake solves all of that. The bullet brake installs up by your brake fluid reservoir on your right handlebar, and it basically locks that fluid in place. You squeeze the handlebar, you engage the bullet brake, you squeeze the brake lever, you engage the bullet brake, and then you let it all go, and that engagement of the brake handle stays put. It applies the pressure, hydraulic pressure, and keeps those calipers against your front tire, and guess what? That bike is not going anywhere. And then when you're ready to ride again, a simple squeeze of the brake handle will release that bullet brake immediately. So easy to use. Such an elegant solution to a problem that Honda really shouldn't be a problem. You know what? Anyway, go out and check out the bullet brake. If you've got a Honda Goldwing 2000, well, just about any bike. It works on any bike, but specifically these Goldwings with these parking brakes. Go out and find this bullet brake, and it's going to help you a lot. And before you guys, if you're new to Goldwing, and before you put in the comments, well, why don't you just put it in gear? Well, DCTs, you can't leave in gear. DCTs, automatic transmissions, when you turn off the bike, it jumps into neutral automatically every time, no other option. So that bike's rolling if it's on an incline, unless you have some kind of brake, set. So go check out the bullet brake. All right, this next one may not be for everybody. Some people don't like the aesthetics, although I believe the aesthetics look almost factory. Solution and get you really close to a factory look. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the Traction Dynamics tip over protection. I've had it on my bike now for, a couple years. And yes, I have dropped this bike once in my own driveway. Like an idiot, I jumped off the bike and I was in a hurry, didn't think to put the kickstand down, and sure enough, it tipped over. Well, what it hit my Traction Dynamics engine guards, and there was no damage. Wiped off some debris, and they're brand new looking. There was no paint scrapes on my saddlebags. There was no damage to my side view mirror. Those are the two things that hit first when it tips over. This is not designed to help you in a crash, okay? This is designed like idiots like me. You just get off the bike and it tips over, or wind tips it over, or God forbid somebody pushes it over. It will protect a very expensive paint repair on those saddlebags or that mirror. So reach out to Traction Dynamics and get you a set of the tip over protection guards for this bike. Very good in my opinion. All right, now we're down to number 10. And number 10 for me personally is the quad lock wireless charging system for my iPhone. I've got it mounted to my handlebars. It comes active when the bike's on. It shuts off when the bike is off. But it allows me to connect my phone and it charges it while it is on the cradle. I say cradle. I don't know what you call it. Well, we're going to call it a cradle. It uses the MagSafe charging that the iPhones use, and it will charge your phone while it's on the cradle. What does that mean? That means I don't have to have cables hooked up to it. I don't have to have it in a glove box or a trunk, because I frequently use my phone when I'm on the bike. I will use it to read notes on a video that I'm doing. I will use it for Waze or directions when my Goldwing navigation is screwing up or the communication is keeping Waze from going up on my Goldwing. I wanted the ability to have my phone right there where I can see it on my handlebars without any cords attached to it. And the quad lock wireless waterproof charging system solves that problem. All right, well, there you have it. The top 10 things that, in my opinion, I've added to this bike, and you may find them helpful, or you might like to get a set yourself. I've put links down below where you can find all that stuff. Now let's move on to 3 things that I've had on my bike, but I took off of my bike, and I'll tell you why. All right, none of these next 3 items are bad items. They are wonderful items. They just didn't fit a mold for me, and I took them off, and I'll tell you why. But a lot of people use them, and a lot of people like them. They are good products. This is not a diss of them. This is just, I avoided them because I found another solution, or I'll explain. All right, starting off are the Pinnacle upper wind deflectors. They mount underneath your side view mirrors. They mount with 1 bolt, And they look pretty nice and pretty cool, and they're very functional. You can move them, so you can angle them such that air comes towards you if you want, or you can angle them so air pushes away and keeps wind off of your body from underneath the side view mirrors and off your hands. Now, my issue with these Panicle upper air deflectors was the right one was pretty solid, worked really well. The left one, I could never get solid. It just felt wiggly and loose. I could never tighten it up. I didn't want to get too tight on it for fear of stripping those threads out. And maybe I just got a bad batch. I don't know, but it just wasn't working for me. So I removed them. Now, I did have the lower wind deflectors, and they are fantastic. They've got louvers in them where you can turn them in on a cold day like today, and that radiator heat that comes off of the bike immediately gets grabbed by those louvers and pushed back up to your torso. It's almost like a heater for your car. It blows warm air on you. It's wonderful. I had those on this bike for a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Ultimately, I took them off because I wanted to streamline the bike. I wanted a little sleeker look. But it was just aesthetics for me. It wasn't functionally wrong or anything wrong with them. So check out the Panicle lower wind deflectors if you wish. The upper ones I didn't have much luck with. Other people have had okay luck with them. All right, the next thing is the Vantrue F1 dash cam. What a premium product this is. Works wonderfully. Was a great dash cam. Recorded video in 8K. I mean, just really clear dash cam and really functioned well. My problem with the Vantrue is it comes with a remote control that is wired to the base unit. The base unit is under your seat, or I think Mac has the base units in his trunk or his saddlebags. But that remote control comes with a ton of extra wiring. I mean, great if you need it, but I had a ton of spooled up wiring under my seat, just taking up real estate I couldn't afford to have taken up under that seat. So ultimately, I decided to get rid of the F1 Vantrue dash cam, and I opted to go for the Inov, as I mentioned earlier, the Inov that combined a couple of things. So by combining a couple of things, not only do you not have the remote with all the cabling, but you've combined some things. So you are removing some cabling from what was two things now into one unit. That was my decision point for removing the Vantrue F1 dash cam. Wonderful dash cam, but that's why I removed it and went with the Inov. All right, number 3 on the list, the last thing on the list for these items that just didn't work for me was the Carlin Kit wireless dongle for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. I was using it for Apple CarPlay, and it was just very finicky. It would drop CarPlay so much. So I found another solution. I went with the Quad Lock version. They have a Quad Lock has an Apple CarPlay dongle, very similar to the Carlin Kit, that I've been using now for a year. Much better results with the Quad Lock version. It just connects, occasionally it'll drop, but so rarely now, whereas that was not the case with the Carlin Kit. So I didn't find the Carlin Kit very helpful, to be honest with you. All right, well, there you have it. The top 10 things that I put on my bike and 3 to avoid. By no means is that an exhaustive list. If you're ever curious, send me an email. I'll give you an exhaustive list of the things I've put on my bike, but those were the most important, the most functionally good things I've put on this bike. So I appreciate you guys joining me today. It's a little chilly for a ride, but we're just hanging out here in my garage, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. We'll talk again soon, my friends, and until then, ride safe and God bless.